Hello, and welcome to the Delusional Boyfriend Book Club, where if lying to your girlfriend about her ex being dead is wrong,
I don't want to be right.
I'm Courtney, and I'll be your host. I'm joined today by my romance novel co-host, Princess, and we are going over October's reverse harem romance novel of the month, which was volume 1 of the
St. View Slayers versus Sinners,
which is our fourth. This is our fourth trilogy. But it's the fifth trilogy in this series by this author, the fourth trilogy by this author that we're covering this year. And it is covering Kara's story, who was a side character in the last trilogy. So if you guys haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube and rate and review. Give us 5 stars everywhere you're listening and turn on auto downloads so that every time we do a little bonus episode, it appears right in your library. And with that being said, I'm going to go over our tropes really quick, and then Princess is going to give us the full breakdown. So we've got motorcycle club, dark romance, reverse harem. We have, Cult,
biker gang, sex club, rival gangs,
rival sex club.
Yeah, MFMM, plus size FMC, single mom. That's what I wrote.
Yes, that's amazing. So this was really fun. This character,
I love this series.
This series is really, it's like an interesting character who is in a lot of ways like not very relatable, but becomes more relatable. Her circumstances aren't super relatable, but her instincts are kind of relatable. I love her. She's a little bit of a brat. I like her relationships with these characters, and it has really grown on me. Like, this plot is very interesting. So it's not just like rival biker gangs. It's like there's a lot of plot.
Yeah.
And there's murder mystery happening, and this one is really fascinating. So with that being said, we're going to dive right into it. Take us through.
Okay. There's a couple trigger warnings for this series. There's sexual assault and there's talk of sex trafficking. So if you're not game for that, this is not the series for you. So just actually, this is not the world for you. So I'm guessing you're not reading them.
Yeah, stay out of St. View. Join us for something fluffy later down the road.
Yeah. Okay, here is the spoiler-free summary. Are we ready? 5 years after Kara and Haley Jade survive Caleb's reign of terror, a new villain reveals himself. Forced to become wife number 1 to cult leader Josiah, Kara is separated from her daughter, tortured for her inability to provide a child to her husband, and abused both mentally and physically. When Kara's sister reveals a plot to sell Haley Jade into human trafficking, Kara must make a choice. Disobey her husband to save her daughter, or let him take away the only thing she has left worth living for. Did you like that?
I loved it. That's great. This was, and from right at the beginning, the 5-year time jump means that we are in the middle of her new life. We are learning all the rules, and it is intense. Amazing summary. Okay.
Okay. Here we go. Into the spoilers. All right. So we jump right in. We're 5 years after the epilogue from Rebels series, where we find out that Kara's getting married off to Josiah. So she is the first woman to be married to the cult leader, and we find out that by the time the 5-year gap has happened, he has 4 wives now.
And several children.
Yes, and all of his wives have his children except for her.
Yep.
And so there's all this weird competition between the wives to be his favorite, have the most kids. There's lots of distrust within the community, and it really makes it impossible for Kara to turn to anybody, confide in people, feel like she has a person. And then she's also been separated from her daughter, Haley Jade. So we jump in, we're like, where's Haley Jade? She's been giving to a different woman who is unmarried, and she calls that woman mama. She doesn't even know that Kara is her mom. And so Kara is just being like daily tortured by seeing her. And she's just as defiant as Kara is. And so she's having a really hard time in the cult.
Yeah, the cult leader is really rough on her daughter. He like kind of singles her out. And also Kara is wearing a veil, and she's separated physically from everybody else. So she has been kind of being treated like she went off into the world, she got pregnant, and she's been allowed by Josiah to be her first wife, and that will cleanse her of her sin. But she has to be removed from everyone else so that she doesn't like infect them. And she wears this veil so that she is like, you know, protects her innocence and is like,
well, and it's like she can't have kids. If she had kids for him, she wouldn't be forced to wear this veil and be separated. So it's kind of calling her out for like, she's a bad wife. She's looked down on her. It's kind of like an outward manifestation of that feeling that she's having. He's placing that as a physical thing on her as
Exactly. And
well.
it's also blocking her vision. So like she
Yeah.
can't like, she is being disabled by having her vision clouded. So
Yeah.
it's just another way that he's exerting control over her.
Yep.
So she is really being like herself singled out as well and pulled as far away from any support that she could have.
Yeah, she has no really communication with her family. She's shameful to everybody because they thought, oh, her being his wife will save our reputation, but now she can't have his kids. She's such a like shameful wife. The other wives have multiple children with him at this point, so
Her spawn is disrespectful and
yeah.
bad. So like in all ways she is like a disappointment, and he is assaulting her regularly because he's
as a
saying,
punishment for her not getting pregnant with
Yeah.
his children.
he's
It's really
like
sad.
he's like, you're choosing not to have my children, and your sinfulness means you're not worthy to have my
Yeah.
children. So this is all your fault, and you're choosing. And she's like
Yeah,
desperately
and if you
praying
were
to
a
get
better
pregnant.
person, God would reward you with my child. But
And she's like doing everything she can, and he even, are you going to get to this part? He even accuses her of like taking contraceptives, and she's like, I am praying on my knees to get pregnant with your kid. There's
he's like,
nothing
you
I
must.
can do.
He's like, you must be taking birth control, and she's like, why would I do that? This is like, you're torturing me every day for not having your child. Why would I be actively preventing it? Like, it's the only thing that could make my life worth living at this point in this scenario.
So we start off rough.
So it starts rough. And Alice shows up outside her house, and she is freaking out because she thinks the wives are going to see Alice. So she runs outside to get out of here, Alice, which is their younger sister, her and Rebel's younger sister. And it turns out that Alice has overheard a plan. They have Haley Jade out at the fire with all the men at the bonfire where all the men are drinking. And they go to kind of eavesdrop, and they hear that they're planning on selling Haley Jade to like the highest bidder.
And so they all are like bidding right there in the moment. And Josiah's like, no, we're going to do this officially in a few days. So like have your pocketbooks ready because I have a guy who wants to pay X amount.
Yeah.
So if you guys can get the funds together, you want to buy her, that's going to be the going rate.
Yeah. So this is kind of the straw that breaks the camel's back. And Kara's like,
yeah,
fuck that. And Alice is like, we have to get Haley Jade and we have to get out of here. So this is what sparks the escape plan to get out of the cult. And so Alice says, we need to get our youngest sister, who is like, I think she's 10 or something, also super young. And so they go to the house, they get her, but their other sister catches them, and she takes their sister back, and she says, I will give you 5 minutes before I raise the alarm. So they're running. What's the boy's name?
Oh my goodness. So one of these like new recruits to the cult, he just moved there like a year ago.
His family just joined the cult.
I don't remember what his name is. Not important, but he is friends with Alice, the younger sister, and they've been meeting kind of privately. So she didn't know that this was a friend of her sister's, but he comes to help them run away.
And so he has a truck. They escape. They've like cut the fence. They escape. They get in the truck and they drive, and they don't know where to go. And so they head to St. View to Rebel. So they get to Rebel's house, and her family takes them in. They give her a place to stay. Haley Jade so when they go to get Haley Jade, the woman that she's been living with tells her, because she's screaming and crying, and she says, Haley Jade, you stop talking until your mama tells you to talk. And I think that that's why she doesn't speak, because she doesn't really know that Kara's her mom, because she doesn't speak for this whole book.
Yeah, she has like been so traumatized.
The only thing she does is cry in this book and like giggle. And she doesn't speak any words. And I think that that's why, because she's following like directions from her mom. And she said, you don't speak until your mom tells you to.
This is your second read through of this? Yeah, I did not notice that, but that's absolutely probably why
I didn't notice it the first time.
She like takes her command. She's like, you'll be safe as long as you stay quiet.
And like that's the whole thing in the cult, is that you do what your elders and the men tell you. So I think that's part of the reason that she's so quiet and doesn't speak. But it is so sad for Kara, because she's just emotionally devastated. Her child doesn't even know that she's her child.
No, her child thinks she's like the pariah of the community. She's like, you just had
Yeah.
the like old witchy lady none of us talked to, like come over and
Yeah.
kidnap
And
me.
she basically feels like she's just been
Kidnapped.
torn out of her life.
Mhm.
It's so sad. She doesn't know that it's for her own benefit, obviously.
So they're like running away from the community, and
Yeah.
the Josiah, the cult leader, and her husband has like a shotgun out. He's like searching for them. They
Yeah.
jump into that guy's car, and he drives away with them. So it's Alice, her kind of boyfriend, that
Yeah,
they're
like
not
he's
really
in love with
dating.
her and she's not interested.
Yeah, so
It's kind of the scenario.
that's the scenario.
Typical.
But he also wants to get out of the cult because why
Yeah.
would you want to be there? Like
Yeah.
the young men in these cults always have it worse because, well, obviously the young women have it awful, but the young men usually get pushed out of the cults anyways because they're just competition for the cult
Yeah.
leaders and the older members.
Yeah.
So he's ready to get out. They're on the road with the daughter, the Cara and her daughter, and then Alice, her little sister, and the boy. So they're getting going, and she's like, we can go to Rebels, we can go to my sister's house
Yeah.
in St. View, but she's kind of like trying to,
She's like, that's just a pit stop. Like, we can't stay
Yes.
there because we can't put them in danger.
and she's trying to prepare her sister and her daughter for like what's coming. She's like, the real world is scary too.
Yeah, because the one time Kara's ever left,
She got
she
pregnant
was
by
raped,
rape.
pregnant, almost murdered, tortured by Caleb, kidnapped. It's just awful. So,
Yes.
saw
Saw a man get shot and
for her. Really.
saw a man get killed in front of her that she was
Yeah.
falling in love with. Like everything bad that could happen on her way out was
Yeah.
happened. So she tries to warn them. She's like, we're gonna get to my sisters, but be careful in this new world. Like, don't do anything crazy because it's dangerous. It's just as dangerous out there as
Yeah.
it is where Josiah is.
Yeah, and so she doesn't want to stay in St. View. She doesn't want to put her sister and her family and all of her kids, because she doesn't know this, but Rebel has 4 children. And she knew Rebel was pregnant when she went back to the commune, but they've had no communication. And we find out in the car when they're arriving in St. View, Alice lets her know, like, Rebel has been writing to you all this time. She's never stopped, even though she knows you're not getting her letters, and like she cares about you. Because Kara's kind of like, would she even like want to see me? Like, she probably
She's
hates
probably
me
mad at me
because I haven't talked to her. And so Rebel is so happy to see her when she arrives. It's this beautiful like little sister reunion, and she's gets introduced to all of Rebel's kids, which there are so many. She's got, does she have 4 or 5? 5.
So she has twins from
She's the
different
twins.
men.
Yes,
So, like,
the different baby daddies.
the twins have different dads, and apparently that's physically and medically possible. I love that
Yes.
detail. And then she's got a couple other kids after that. She's got at least one for each dad.
Yeah. And Vaughn has 2. So I think there's 4, and I think she's pregnant with a 5th in this series. Yeah. And Bliss is also pregnant and has had her other babies and is pregnant. And then we also find out May has had 2 kids since her series. So they have 3 total, including Ripley. So that's great. We love to like get to see all of our people and like how their lives are, which is wonderful. So when they get to Rebel's house, they put them up in all their extra rooms because they live in this giant mansion, and Kara gets some sleep, and the next day, like, Alice is gone. But they're like,
she left a note and she's like, hey, we're just going out on the town. But she had like warned them, like, don't do this. But they're not really worried about it because this note says, like, we want to go have fun. Don't worry. I think I
promise, like, we're fine.
Mm-hmm. And she just says, like, yeah, we're doing whatever. But then they get a call later in the day.
Well, they go to the MC compound because she's like worried, and Fang is like, we have to take you, like, we need to talk to War about what we're going to do to protect you. Like, you can't just leave. He's going to find you and you'll have nobody to protect you. So they go to the MC compound, and while they're there, the police show up.
Oh my God.
And they're like, oh, they start talking to Fang, and they're like, you're the partner of Rebel Kemp. Well, she's dead. And everyone's like, and Rebel pops out, and she's like, I'm not dead. I'm right here. You've got a mistake. And he's like, is there any chance someone has your ID? And she's like, no, it's right here. And she goes to pull it out of her purse. She doesn't have her ID. And then we realize that Alice stole her ID to go to the bar because she's only 19, and Alice has been murdered. So that is our murder mystery for the series.
And I, at what point in this book, guessed that Alice was going to die?
Kind of late. Immediately? Was that seconds in?
It was seconds in. Literally, she's like leaving with her sister from the compound, and I was like, she has several sisters. When did we decide we cared about Alice? I was like, oh fuck, Alice is gonna be the I was like, Alice is gonna get murdered, isn't she? And you're like, no. And they're leaving the compound.
I don't even think I said no. I think I just looked at you like this.
And then as they're like escaping the compound, I was like, she gets shot right here, doesn't she? And then she makes it to St. View, and I was like, well, maybe I was wrong. Maybe she doesn't get murdered. And then it wakes up the next morning, she's murdered.
She's murdered. So Alice is the one that is murdered. So that will be our murder mystery for the series. It's really important that everybody knows that Kara thinks Hayden is dead. Hayden is not dead.
Yes.
Hawk, they scraped Hayden off the ground. Hawk nursed him back to health. He shot Hawk to escape 5 years ago from the compound. Hayden is alive. Kara thinks Hayden is dead. It's really, really important that everybody knows that.
And a fun other fact is that Hawk, after nursing Hayden from his gun wound to the leg, he nursed himself from the gun wound
that Hayden gave him.
Yes. So he also wants to be in medicine. Like he's kind of loves just patching up these bullet wounds. So cute little fact about Hawk. And I will say that those are our 2 love interests in this story. And damn boys, really showing out.
I know. Like I love
really
them.
like these boys.
I know, right? I know. I really like these boys too. So Hayden is working in a diner. We find out that he has become quite a bit of a chef, and Liam wants to invest in him to have his own restaurant because he's like, you shouldn't be cooking shitty burgers in a shitty diner. You're such a good cook. Like, you're a chef. You need a restaurant. And so he decides to let Liam help invest in him. And they go to an auction for this perfect building in Providence, and they lose the bidding war. They're outbid. And he's really disappointed. And then he gets this offer from the person that wins the bid, which turns out to be our old friend, Luca Guerra.
So he gets
our old friend, the sex trafficking piece of shit, is what I wrote down.
So
Luca Guerra.
And Hayden has at this point sworn off his gang life.
Yeah.
He has dropped his like biker gang moniker, Chaos. Yeah,
he's not
he
Chaos.
Doesn't go by that anymore.
Yeah.
He has sworn off all of this. He also has like been taken in by his family and all of these the
like they love him.
All the children are around him, and he is like a good example for everybody. So he doesn't want anything to do with Luca Guerra because Luca Guerra reminds him of Kara and the women and the sex trafficking and all of the darkness that he left behind. And he doesn't want to be a part of that.
Yeah. And
his brother was going to give him a loan. And when they were in the bidding war, he was like outbidding himself more than they could afford. Yeah. And he like was like, I just need this restaurant. And his brother was like, how do you expect to pay for that?
Yeah.
Are you going to go back to like sex trafficking and selling drugs?
Yeah.
Like,
and then he's like, I'm really sorry. That was a low blow.
It was a low blow. But then we immediately get this offer from Luca Guerra.
So Luca offers him. He says, I want you to be the head chef at my new restaurant that we're putting in that building.
And that's what Liam was asking. Are you just going to go back to selling women?
Yeah.
Like, obviously,
and,
you know this is
And Hayden
shady.
is immediately like, absolutely not. I'm not interested. He goes to work that day. Rowdy customer punches his waitress in the face.
15-year-old girl or something.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's like a woman
and
and
so
a girl.
Then, of course, Hayden comes out and is like, he just punched a child. Not only a child, but a female child.
Yes.
So then Hayden gets
After
involved.
Groping her.
Yeah. And then Hayden gets involved, and then it's like 4-on-1, and Hayden's kind of getting the shit beat out of him. And this guy comes in and intervenes. And the guy that intervenes, Hawk. And as soon as he realizes that it's Hayden on the ground, he's like, I should have never got involved. And they all get arrested.
Yep.
And so Hawk and Hayden get arrested together. And when they get to the cop shop, we find out that there's a new police chief in town, and he hates them because they're both affiliated with like the biker gangs in town. So then they both get strip searched, and there's like this sizzling like chemistry crackling between the boys, checking out each other's dicks. And Hayden's like, oh, Hawk, like, stare a little longer. Do you want it? And Hawk is not ready to accept that he is attracted to a man.
But he hasn't noted that
he's noted it in his internal monologue. He's like, damn, he's got a huge cock.
Huge.
It's
he's
huge.
Just like, whoa.
And he's like, has acknowledged that there's just something about Hayden that's really hot, but he hates him.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he gets home from that is when he finds out Kara's back.
Oh,
and then he's like, so then he kind of is like, oh, fuck Hayden. I hate him. I like Kara. Immediately, he's so down for Kara again after their little like romantic scene in the last series before she breaks his nose twice. And so they go, he shows up like right before they find out that Alice has been killed. And so he goes with them to the morgue. They check the body. They confirm it's
Because
Alice.
Hawk is best friends with
War.
War.
And he's
so,
the VP of the
biker gang. So
yeah.
he is like immediately like called into action when these guys need something.
Yeah.
And he's been, just like he called in. So he sees Kara. He sees his like opportunity to be with this feisty girl who broke his nose, and he's really excited. He also does know that like I think he knows that she was like with Hayden,
kind of in love with Hayden because she named her baby after him,
and he got shot like in front of her, and so I think he has pieced together all the dots that this girl, if he is threatened by anybody, he's threatened by Hayden. 100%. So he is not going to let her know that he patched that boy up and that he lived. He's just going to be like, oh yeah, that was such a pity, what a shame.
He's like,
when
it's
he
fine,
died.
we're not going to run into him, it's no big deal.
No, so he's just fully pretending he's dead.
And so
which honestly I respect so much about Hawk. I'm just like, he has no morals and no principles. He's just like for himself and out like for numero uno. And like, honestly, I'm so here for it. He's like so stupid. He honestly is so stupid. And I love him and I want him to get his GED and I want him to go to be a nurse or a paramedic or whatever. But the fact that he was like, this girl will fall in love with me, and in St. View, the town where everybody's fucking everybody, and we have 2 different sex clubs, we are never going to run into Hayden. It won't be an issue.
Yeah. Like in what world?
How long is that going to last?
He doesn't really think about it until like, I don't know, almost to the end of the book. And he's like, I think I have to tell her. And Moore's like, nah. And he's like, yeah, you're right. It's bad.
It's so bad, but I do really respect him.
But I think at this point, he doesn't know that she doesn't know that Hayden's alive.
Yes, but when he does,
so he's not going to bring it up. But when he hears her talking about how he's dead, he doesn't
correct her. He's
doesn't correct her.
Yes, R.I.P.
He died.
R.I.P.
I didn't save that guy's life or anything. So, when Hawk gets back to the compound, he also gets his GED results. He took his GED test. He fails. He's pissed. He's being a dick to everyone because that's how he be. And then who's in there? Amber with him?
Yeah.
And she's like, baby, let me make you feel better. And he's like, get the fuck out of here, and throws her out of his room naked. And then he's just in his room, and Kara goes in there to apologize for breaking his nose.
Yes.
She opens the door and he just yells at her from the bed because he thinks it's Amber, and he's like, get back in here, you slut, or whatever.
Yes.
And Kara's like,
Kara, who has been like actually sexually traumatized by every man she's ever met in her life.
She's never had sex. She's never had sex.
She's never had
consensual sex.
She's never had consensual sex.
She's just only been assaulted.
Yeah, so she gets like called into the room, and she is so fearful. She's like at a biker compound. She is not going to like disobey a man, especially because every other man she's ever disobeyed has raped her. So she just like goes in the room, and he tells her to come in the room.
And then he realizes it's her.
And then he's like, stay right there. Like,
and then they make eye contact, and he's jerking off, and she's like,
yeah. And so he's like, no, keep your eyes open, because I think she like goes to cover her eyes or something. And he's like, put your hands down, watch me. You're going to sit here and watch me. So he jerks off in front of her to completion. And then he's like, you can go. And
she's like,
and also she's like, so even in her internal monologue at that moment, she's like scared, but you can tell she's like very into it. Yeah. And this is where the dynamic begins of like her as a sub and Hawk as her dom. Yeah. And he is like, he tells her what to do, and her brain shuts off, and she just like is in the moment for a second. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna love this. Yeah. I'm gonna love it. 100% I was very interested right at this moment, because I was like, this is just verging on this assault, except for she actually kind of trusts him. She is attracted to him. She's interested in him. And when he tells her to do something, like all she knows how to do is be subservient. Yeah. So like in a way it allows her to just like, I don't know, do what she's good at.
And like the dynamic becomes him. He knows that she needs him to do that. Yep. And it allows her to let herself enjoy the moment. Yep. And so he kind of understands this like need that she has, like to be subservient, because she doesn't know how else to take her power back. It's great.
It's amazing. And she definitely like yeah, being able to be punished and like forgive herself after a punishment is like a big part of her religious trauma, which I so get. Like I like on this level, I'm like, of course, Kara's like circumstances are not relatable. Like I was never in a cult, but I was raised in the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
And if you like want to spank me and so that I like repent for my sins, like I will let you.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, I will feel cleansed and I will feel forgiven and I will feel like a good girl. So like I get it. And Kara, I started to love more and more. And Hawk, I was like, oh, he's just naturally such a dick that he just like he wants to boss her around and then he feels bad about it in his internal monologue. He's like, why am I so harsh with her? Why am I like that? But he's just naturally very domineering.
And he's never ever been in a situation where he has more feelings than I want to fuck this girl.
Yes.
Ever in his life.
Absolutely.
As a 35-year-old man, all of his interactions have always been, I fuck you because I want to get off. I don't care. Get out. Goodbye.
And he's never been with a plus size girl either. So everything about this for him is a little different. And he's like trying to be careful about it, but he's just like a klutzy little jerk. And oh, it's spicy. He's like, great. I hate when people are like, this is so toxic. This is so toxic. I'm like, men are toxic. I don't know. When was the last time you met a man who was like, immediately just like well behaved? They always like say the wrong thing at the wrong time. They're inappropriate. They try to be funny and they're just fucking mean or insulting or offensive. And it's like, Hawk is that. He's just like he's a dude, Stu. He's a dude, bro. He is not a good guy, but there's something very sexy about him anyways.
Everybody loves a bad boy. We always have, we always will.
We always have, we always will.
It's just the way that we are.
It's just the way we are. That's that.
We love, our favorite color is morally gray.
Morally gray. There it is.
Come on. Okay. So he goes with them to the morgue. They go to the morgue. They identify Alice's body. And when they're leaving the morgue, we are in a new POV. We are in Grayson's POV.
Move along. Yes.
Yes.
Keep going.
So he sees Kara walking out and he's immediately she's bawling her eyes out. And he's like, that girl's hot. She's so beautiful. She looks like my ex-wife. I'm obsessed with her. Ooh, scary man. Ooh, scary man. And then he goes in and we find out that he's kind of like investigating
Alice's murder because
his wife was killed by a serial killer who killed her in the same manner that Alice was killed, and they look alike.
So I'm like, alarm bells ringing all over the place. I text Phoebe and I'm like, why is it in his perspective as if he's going to be the next love interest when I'm sure that he's a murderer?
Yeah, she goes, is it crazy that I think he's the murderer? Wait, he can't be the murderer. He's got to be. What?
I was like, he's investigating the murders, but he is coming off like such a murderer. We're like, oh, she's so hot. She's crying and looks like my dead wife. Like, okay, murderer, tell me some more creepy things.
It's a bit alarming.
Do you want to wear skin? Like anything else you want to say that's going to make me like very wary of you?
Yeah. Which
sus guy.
Which we'll find out because we don't find out in this book. Like we have like two chapters. We have like 2 chapters in his POV. It's this book. Not about Grayson.
Yeah, basically he starts to talk to her. He catches Kara out
at the hospital.
Yes, he catches her out in the hallway.
And he pulls her into a room and he's like, you're in danger, blah, 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 blah. He freaks her out. Hawk finds them. He freaks out.
Yes.
And then Hawk is like, that douchebag creep from the hospital. And she's like, I don't think it was that bad. He was just trying to warn me. Someone's gonna try to kill me.
And I'm like, okay, well, Kara has the worst instincts in the world. So basically, if she thinks this guy is fine, then we know he's the devil. So moving along. So anyways, Hawk does get very jealous in this moment, though.
Oh, he's so jealous, boy.
Yes.
Like, raging jealous boy.
Yeah, he is like, he's toxic.
Yeah, he's so toxic. I love it. He's so hot. So not in real life, but in books, fun.
So we get home from the hospital, and also all during this, every time Haley Jade is around Hawk, she is like smiling a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Okay, so they stay the night at the compound after this, and Kara's traumatized. She goes to sleep. She's like, they're like, you can put her in the cabin. They're like, it's disgusting. She can't be in the cabin.
Yeah.
She's like, it's fine. Like, can Haley Jade sleep in Queenie's room? I'll just sleep on the couch, whatever. And Hawk wakes up and finds Kara like shivering on the couch under a dog's blanket. And he is pissed because he's an asshole, but a good asshole. So then he scoops her. Yeah. And so then he scoops her up and takes her to bed with him. And she's like, what the fuck? Put me down. I'm so fat. You can't carry me. And then obviously he carries her. And then she's like, I can't sleep in here. And he's like, you can and you will. And then they go to sleep. And then
Well, see, that's the thing, is that she
Mhm.
is like, I'm married, I can't sleep in another man's bed. And
Yeah.
he's like, you don't have a choice.
And she's like,
And the thing
okay.
is, she doesn't have a choice. She
No.
cannot sleep with a dog blanket out in
On
the
the couch.
freezing
No.
couch. Like, she needs to treat herself with some dignity. And if she's allowed to, like, use her brainwashed brain to think for herself, she's going to make a really harmful choice for herself and go be uncomfortable and unsafe, whatever.
Yeah.
So if she lets this guy be her dom and tell her, like, what is good for her, and to get in bed and get under the covers, regardless if she's married, and to care about herself a little bit more than that, it's like a perfect fit, a perfect dynamic, until the next morning when he wakes up and forgets
like,
who's in bed with him.
Doesn't realize that Kara's in bed with him. So then he's got like, you know, his morning boner. And he's like grinding all up on her. And he's like literally hands in her pants.
He's like slipping between the folds, as they say.
Oh, the worst.
He's slipping. He's doing the slip and slide. And then she like wakes him up a little bit.
Well, she is awake.
Yes.
For this, and she's like, what is going on? And then,
which I did love the scene, because
and he's like kind of asleep, and he's like, baby, it's fine. And then she's like, oh, okay. And then she moans, and it wakes him all the way up, and then he freaks out, and she thinks he's freaking out because it's her, and that he thought it was, you know, Amber or Kiki, and that she's fat and he's disgusted. And so she gets out of this. She like pulls up her skirt and leaves, and his internal monologue is, oh my god, I almost just raped her.
And honestly, this is what I will say,
I almost just raped this girl that I really want to sleep with, but not like that.
The miscommunication in this moment is so believable, because like, just like overall this whole situation,
if you've ever slept in a bed with a man,
or if you've ever woken up in a bed that you didn't remember, like where you fell asleep or who you fell asleep with, and like if you're just like a slutty person, like you might just like wake up in a bed and start like being handsy. And also it's very steamy, like this, like when somebody's like half asleep and you're fooling around, like that is a very realistic moment, and all this confusion was very believable.
Totally, 100%.
Loved this scenario, loved it so much. And honestly, she's like backing up on him, and half the time when I do this to Wolfgang, I'm like, he's not even awake. Like, I'm
gonna wake him up.
I could get pretty far before he realizes what's going on here. Like, it's, you know, it is what it is. But there's certain people who have that kind of consent built into their relationship, and then there's Kara and Hawk who
don't have a relationship,
not have a relationship. And so far, it's been him jerking off in front of her.
That's it, without
her consent, and then him slipping and sliding without any consent. And her not feeling like she can say no to a man.
But also
that's an issue.
Not wanting to.
So when he tries to apologize to her later, that's what he says. He's like, I'm sorry I tried to force myself on you, and like you didn't want that. And she's like, I did want it. So after she freaks out, she like storms off. She's really upset, and then Hawk feels really bad. So the way that he channels that is he's gonna go clean the cabin so she has a safe place to stay where he's not gonna accidentally rape her. It's not funny, but... And everyone's like, he's never cleaned a day in his life. And he's like, I got a good reason.
And so he's down there scrubbing. He's like down there scrubbing this disgusting cabin. And he like hears something, and he looks over, and Haley Jade has followed him. And she's just like standing there, demure, like not talking, tiny little thing. And he's like, get out of here. Like, you're a kid. Go be a kid. And she's like, no. And then he's like, do you want to help? And she's like, mm-hmm. And so he's like, okay, help me pick up the trash. And so she helps him. And then she starts to get more and more comfortable with him. And she starts giving him little smiles and little giggles. The Hawk and Haley dynamic is so good.
Cute.
It is so good.
It's so cute. And again, with the Dom thing, he literally is creating this whole safe space for her, this clean place. Like, he's giving her everything that she needs. Like, and then the way that
daddy energy.
And then the way he has daddy, there's such a difference between being a daddy and being a dad.
It's BDE, but it's not big dick energy. It's big daddy energy.
For sure. He so in this moment, they like immediately bond, and she's not scared of him. She just like can sense his good vibes, which is amazing because to everyone else he's such a dick.
Yeah.
And this child like sees right through to him, and she's like, "You're the safe adult."
Yeah.
And she feels this about Queenie as well. She like wants
latches
to
onto her.
stay with Queenie
Yes.
in a way that is like, I know this is a safe person, this is a safe space. So we already have kind of Rebel looking at all of this and being like, your daughter's thriving here. Are you sure you want to leave?
Like, there will be no one to protect you. You should stay.
And like we're making this environment safe for you. Hawk's helping you out, and she's still panicking, just trying to like basically run away from all of her problems.
So then he's like, okay, we have to go get your mom some clothes and some bedding and some food. And so he's like, Haley, do you want to come? And she's like, yeah, I want to come. And Queenie's like, do not take that child. And he's like, she wants to come. Kara's sleeping. It'll be fine. And she's like, you can't put that child on the back of your bike. And he's like, Queenie, I wasn't going to. Get taken the van.
I got the van. And
so they take the van, they go shopping, they get all the things. They're driving back.
This girl's sister was killed yesterday, and you're going to take her child without asking.
Yeah, correct. Such a Hawk move.
He's so, I'm not kidding. Hawk has 6 brain cells, and they're all working towards getting laid. Like, that's it. That's literally it.
And so they go, they buy all this stuff, and then when they're driving back through Providence from the city to St. View, what does he see? This restaurant? It's called, he sees Hayden outside and his name on the window. And the restaurant is called, which we find out Luca's named the restaurant, Sinners. And Hayden's like, I am not associated with the Sinners. This cannot be the name. He goes, it's the name because there's going to be a sex club in the back. This is a high quality sex club. Okay. We need one in Providence too. And he's like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. But he's already locked into a contract. He has no... He applied for a bunch of jobs, couldn't get any, so he decided to take this job with Luca.
And his family runs a sex club, so now he is going to be like the competitor.
No, not his family.
Well,
Bliss.
Well,
that's not Hayden's family.
But Hayden is related to
Liam,
which
is May's partner.
Oh, that's where it is. So he has no actual affiliation with these people. Okay.
No. So, but Hawk sees Hayden and he
this is the affiliation that I'm thinking of is that Hayden is in love with Kara and Kara's family runs the other sex club. So he is making direct competition for the girl he wants to get.
Yeah, but he doesn't know she's back.
No, but
this is when he finds out.
But I'm just letting y'all know. Yeah. It becomes a conflict of interest.
It's a conflict of interest anyways because it's for Hawk. Because he's like, that's my family. That's War's club, like, and Bliss's club, and you're making a competitor. So how he finds out is he sees Hayden. He's pissed. He hates Hayden. He gets out to go yell at Hayden after the interaction at the police because Liam came to bail Hayden out. And Hawk was like, have him bail me out too. And Hayden was like, rot in jail for 24 hours. I'm not doing that.
Go fuck yourself.
So he left Hawk in the jail cell overnight. And
Which
so Hawk's pissed about this. So he goes to confront
the guy
Hayden.
who saved his life, but also kind of getting out to him. Yeah. But also, like, their dynamic is so funny. So funny.
I love it. So he gets out to go yell at Hayden about this. And then that's when he sees the plans for it to be a sex club. He gets pissed. And then he like has Haley with him and he's like, come on, Haley Jade, we're getting out of here. And Hayden, he immediately says that and knows he fucked up. And then Hayden is like, what did you call her? And he's like, nothing. And he's like, Kara's back. And he goes, yeah, she's back and she's married. You're too late. We're all too late.
He's like, is that baby named after me?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't think it's too late. I'm actually not giving up on this. And, and then Hawk's like, I got it.
Hawk, of course, is not saying she's married to a cult leader that she just escaped from. He goes, she's married. It's too late.
Yeah.
We were all too late.
Yeah. Peace out. Me and this girl gotta get out of here.
And so then that's how Hayden finds out Kara's back. And then he spends like the rest of the book just like creeping, trying to get any glimpse of her he can, but she never leaves the compound. Yeah. So he can never get to her.
He's just like stalking outside the compound, also starting to open a sex club / restaurant. So he's very busy. He's busy. Sun up to sundown.
And he also found those 3 kittens. So he also has 3 kittens.
I don't even remember the kittens part. He's got too much.
He finds them like dying and he tries to take them to every shelter and no one has room for the kittens. And so then he uses his savings. This is what drives him to take the job because he uses his savings to do the get the vet work done that the kittens need to save the kittens. And then he's like, okay, I need a job.
Prediction moment. There's going to be like an adorable scene where Hawk and Hayden are just like with the kittens and they're bonding over these stupid fucking kittens, and then they're going to have sex afterwards. We realize they're both huge softies for these kittens, and that's going to be a scene. And there, mark it.
To be honest with you, I can't remember.
Well, I bet there is.
So we'll find out.
I love
because I've only read this series once before. All the other ones I had read twice before. So
soft little cat boys.
Yeah.
My favorite.
So meanwhile, Kara and Hawk start like sleeping together. So he cleans the cabin for her. He shows it to her after she freaks out that he kidnapped her child for the day. He's like, she wanted to come with me. Like, she had fun and she's been traumatized. So you should be thanking me. I mean,
and Queenie's like, I told you not to take that fucking kid.
I fucking told you this was going to happen. So she's pissed. She runs off to the cabin. He follows her. Then this is like the cult brain of hers.
She's brainwashed.
She's totally been brainwashed. And then when he comes to apologize, she thinks that she's in trouble for talking back to a man. Mm-hmm. So then she is trying to apologize. And he's like, what the fuck are you apologizing for? And then she's like, I'm ready to take my punishment, which this is really sad that she's like goes and like takes her underwear off, gets on all fours and just like waits to be raped as punishment.
And he's like, Kara, what you're doing is messed up. I'm here to apologize. Yeah. You did nothing wrong.
I
was wrong. The way I reacted and me getting defensive about my like making a mistake was not your fault. I shouldn't have talked to you like that.
And she's like insists on being punished.
But she like does also acknowledge that he's right. Yeah. She's happy that he sees it that way because she knows deep inside she was not wrong.
She was not in the wrong.
So, but she's like, in order for me to like move past this, I need you to or in order for me to know that we're okay, like I need you to take me now, and like then I can move forward knowing that this is like all forgotten water under the bridge.
Yeah, and so he like uses the opportunity of her like begging him to punish her as by punishing her with pleasure instead of pain.
Yeah. This is all BDSM. This is all Dom sub behavior.
Yeah.
And it is like one way you can deprogram your brain or allow your brain to be the way it is and like
or
be
just
more
like
empowered in it.
Reframe the program.
Yeah, you retake your narratives. Mm-hmm. So you're like, this is a way that I'm instinctually want to act anyways.
Yeah.
And I don't want to feel guilty for the way I instinctually act, but I want it to feel like my choice and not like I'm reacting this way because I'm brainwashed.
Yeah.
So this like deprogramming with him is so wonderful. And because Hawk is such a fucking idiot, like he's so stupid, his natural inclination for taking care of her is really romantic because it's just like this innate quality of his that he knows how to get her to like treat herself better, even though he doesn't treat anyone else good.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even really treat himself good, but he is a natural caregiver for her.
Yeah.
And like he was made for her. And I love him and I love this relationship. This dynamic is so believable.
Yeah. Yeah. And their like chemistry is so good.
So good.
And totally believable, and it has been there the whole time.
Yes.
That's like that little seed. There's like that one scene before she punches him in the nose when she's all looking all hot going to the concert, and then he makes some comment and then she breaks his nose again. And you're like, oh, that's gonna be something. Like when it happens, you're like, there's something there.
And I don't care if everybody listening right now hates Sarah J. Maas. We don't want to talk about it. What I do want to talk about is the fact that my favorite couple from that series also met by breaking the guy punching the girl in the face. But what I'm saying is that when it starts out, when a relationship starts with a little violence, it can often lead to a very enticing plot line.
Yes,
and
books
believable
only.
Chemistry.
Not in real life, people.
Books
if
only.
Somebody punches you, don't
be with them. Yes. Do not be with them. But I will say I just like the tension. Yeah. I like it. Okay.
Me too.
That's all. Moving forward.
Okay. So the chemistry between them is really good. We get good scene here and we get a couple more good scenes between these two. And then it turns out that Hawk is like, he doesn't really know what to do with himself because it turns out he likes Kara and he has never had feelings for any woman ever. And he doesn't know what to do.
And what happens is that Fang, who is married to Rebel or with Rebel, he is trying to look out for Rebel's little sister. So he's like, do you have intentions of putting her on the back of your bike? Because if not, then you're just fucking with a girl who's really vulnerable, who is in a really hard spot, and you should leave her alone. And he's like, you know what? That's none of your fucking business. And as he gets on his bike and he rides away, he's like, how do I answer that question to myself? Like, do I plan on putting her on my bike? Is she wife material? Do I love her like that?
Yeah.
And he's not ready to accept what he's thinking, but what he's thinking is that like he
absolutely
can see her on the back of his bike.
And then so he goes to War for some advice. He's like, I don't know what to do. I think I actually like this woman. And well, he doesn't say it in those words. He's just talking about her, and War tells him, you like her. Like, take her on a date. Get her off of the compound. And he's like, what? Are you been on a date for? And so he's like, you take her out to dinner, take her to the movies, go have a good night, come back. You know, like, she needs to get out of here. She needs to, like, not just be around all of the motorcycle guys all the time. And so Hawk decides to do that. They go out to dinner. They just go to like a shitty diner, but they have a great time. Kara's also never been on a date. So this is everybody's first date. And they have a really nice time at dinner, and they go to the movie theater.
And like, he got all dressed up, and he's like a bad boy in a fucking cable knit sweater, and he's trying really hard.
And then they go to the movies, and while they're like in line to buy tickets, Hawk starts, you know, like dirty talking, because that's his go-to preset.
Which maybe is why I love him so much.
I think so. And Kara loves it. And I feel like this is where I relate to Kara. I'm like, I love it, but I can't dish it back. I have nothing to say. I'm just like, okay.
Well, that's fine, because that's the whole point of being a sub.
Yeah.
Like, if you have somebody bossing you around, you don't need to say shit.
Like when he calls her Little Mouse because she's shy, I'm like, oh, what? That's so mean. I feel that.
And we love that name. So, oh God, I love when this comes back around to this. So he is like, Little Mouse, go into the theater's bathroom and play with yourself. And so she like goes to do that, and he goes to wait for her, right?
Yeah. And somebody follows her. She goes in, and she hears there's two other women in there, and she hears them go, you can't be in here. And she's like, oh, he followed me into the bathroom. Well, then she turns around. Not Hawk. Hayden.
The man who she had kind of Stockholm syndrome from, who she fell in love with, who she saw get shot.
This is important.
Die.
In his talk with War, he said, I have to tell Kara that Hayden is alive.
Mm-hmm.
I think I need to tell her. And War talks him out of it. He tells Hawk everything he wants to hear, which is, nah, man, you don't need to do that. Like, that guy's trouble. He's trouble for everyone. She can't get involved. Like, don't tell him. And Hawk's like, well, I was looking for someone to tell me I didn't have to do the right thing.
And this is
because I don't want to, because I'm afraid she's going to choose him, because he asked her if she was in love with him, and she didn't say no. And what she said was, he's dead, so it doesn't matter.
What also we forgot to say was, one night when they spent the night together, he woke up to her saying another man's name. It was
Hayden's name, and he freaked out. And she's like, I can't control my dreams.
Yes.
Like,
so they had gotten in a fight over this already.
Yeah.
He had apologized.
And then later
for
he
being
asked.
a dick,
Yeah. Then he later asked. And then
are you in love with him?
And she was like, it doesn't matter because he's dead. And Hawk is like, oh, he's not dead, so it kind of matters. I really have to tell her. And then War, he gives him the excuse that he does not have to tell her. And he's like, you're right. You know what? I'm not going to do the hard thing where I possibly let her choose someone else over me. So I'm not going to tell her. So when Hayden follows her into the bathroom,
she thinks he's dead man walking.
She thinks he's dead. And she's like, what the fuck?
And immediately he's like, okay, girl, I know that you're here with him.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna come get you, get your bags,
he's like,
run
away. He's like, run away with me. Like, I want to be with you. I want to be with Haley Jade. Like, we need to be together. And she's like in shock, and also feels so betrayed by everybody in the motorcycle club, because she's like, everybody, her family,
they all lied
everybody. She's like, everyone lied to me. They all knew he was alive, and they didn't tell me. Why wouldn't they tell me? This is so upsetting, which 100%.
But
I would be upset if I was her
it's
too. And I
sure.
get why they didn't tell her because
Yeah. And this is a motorcycle.
they think this is like a Stockholm syndrome situation. And she's like, you guys weren't there. You don't
know
get
him. And also
Yeah.
this is like a motorcycle gang. They have their own rules and ethics. And
Yeah.
like
They're like, he's a bad guy.
He's the enemy. We're not friends with him. Like they're not doing him any favors and they don't feel any ethical obligation to
And
like
from
be
the
honest.
outside, he's sex trafficking women for
Yes.
Caleb and Luca.
Yes. And
That's their perspective. And she knows that that isn't what the situation was and that his entire family was being threatened and he was being also forced to do that. But they don't know that and they won't listen to her when she's trying to tell them that. They don't want to hear it.
He is like the direct competition of their sex club. Like there's no reason for them to have his
Well,
side.
they don't know that yet.
Not yet, but I'm like, he in every way, he's the enemy.
Oh, 100%.
He is the enemy.
Which is why the series is called The Slayers versus Sinners. Because they are like opposite, like they are in feud mode in all aspects of the story. And so he's like, you have to go back on your date. You have to act natural. Meet me at midnight. We're going to run away. And she's like, okay. And so she goes back to her date. But obviously, Hawk is like all up on her. And she's like being pretty standoffish, as you would be when you just found out the person you're starting to have really real, true feelings for. And the first man who's like treated you like a real person has actually been lying to you the whole time.
Yeah, maybe he only has his own interests at heart. So she's rejecting him the whole time. He's trying to hit on her in the movie theater.
And they finally get back to the compound and they're stopped at the gate to talk to Feng to get back in. And he's like, what's wrong? What did I do? I don't understand. And what happened in that bathroom? And she goes, chaos. Chaos happened in that bathroom.
Chaos.
And she
which I was like, that sounds like you have massive diarrhea. But she was like, utter chaos.
Yeah.
And then she runs out of the car.
And he immediately knows, oh, fuck. She knows Hayden's alive because that's his biker name was Chaos. And so he's like, oh, I fucked up. Yep. And so he chases her inside. But as soon as he gets inside, he realizes that the Louisiana chapter is here. They are staying. They just showed up without a warning. They're staying, and War immediately summons him to church, which is like the sacred thing in the biker gang. We've had it in the past 2 series. You get locked in, you stay in until your shit is figured out. All the girls are out. Kara starts immediately drinking. He's like, oh, fuck. And then he goes into church.
And she literally doesn't drink. It's against her religion. He's like, stop her. And everyone's like, she can do what she wants. She's an adult. And there is a man there named
Riot. It says biker name.
And Riot immediately catches eyes with Kara. And they are like flirting and they're
and he's
being
so
obvious.
Upset.
And they're being all up in Hawk's face about it. And Hawk is like, has a gun under the table. And he's like, I'm about to kill everybody.
Yeah, and Riot, and they're like, you can't kill the other chapter's VP because Riot's the VP of the Louisiana chapter.
Yeah.
So they go into this meeting. They're like, why the fuck are you guys here? And they find out, they're like, oh, we're here to do business that you guys don't deal in. And they're like, what does that mean?
We're sex trafficking.
And then they find out that they're here to get women because they're going to traffic women. And they're like, Slayers don't traffic women. And they're like, St. View Slayers don't. The rest of us have things to do. And so then they're like really upset. They're like, that's fucked up, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, that's happening. That's what's happening with Hawk. All of these things are happening at the same time. Luca told Hayden he would help him get onto the compound to get Kara out. So he's waiting for Luca. Luca shows up. He's like, you got to deliver some pizzas. It'll get you into the club. He shows up with this van and he's like, he knows that it's not going to be pizza because it's fucking Luca Guerra. He opens a van full of women, crying, bound, and gagged women. And he's like, you've got to be kidding me. And he's like, you didn't really think it was going to be a pizza delivery, did you? Like, they'll get you in the gates and then you find your girl. You drop them off. You find your girl. Luca leaves. Hayden immediately starts untying the girls. He's like, no way. Like, this is not happening. And meanwhile, Hawk gets out of church. He's like, where's Kara? They're like, she went back to her cabin. And he's like, okay. So he goes down to her cabin. He realizes all her clothes are gone. She's gone. No sign of Kara. He's like, oh my God, she's going to run away with Hayden.
We as a reader are like, she's running away with Hayden.
Okay. And that's what he's like, what did Hayden do? Okay.
Hayden is thinking, is she going to come find me?
Hayden's thinking, I have to get these women out so that I can go find her.
Yes. Yeah.
And while he's doing that, he's untying the last girl. Someone puts a gun up to his head and says, where is she? And Hawk is with Hayden and he's threatening Hayden's life. He's like, where is she? I know you have Kara. And he's like, I don't. We're supposed to meet up in the woods. And he goes, what woods? There's acres and acres of woods, and she's gone. That's like the interaction with those two. That's how that interaction ends. Then we jump back 10 minutes. So that's happening. And we jump back 10 minutes earlier in Kara's POV. She's fucked up. She's like, I'm walking back to my cabin. And she like passes out.
Which I will say, every single step and every single decision of Kara's life has been miscalculated and misjudged.
And this is also one of them.
Actually, the worst instincts and the worst decision making of anybody in
she's never
any world.
She's never been able to think for herself.
Yeah. She was told, you're a stupid woman. So, like, we're watching this in total frustration because she's yelled at Hawk. She's like, I'm going to go to the party even though I'm not supposed to be at the party. I'm going to drink even though I'm not supposed to drink. I'm going to be, and she's a 20, how old is she? 26?
She was,
something like that. She's like 26 years old. And so it's a little frustrating because at this point I'm just like,
I feel like she's like our age. I feel like she's maybe 29.
I don't think she's our age.
Really?
I think
how old was Rebel?
I think that she was 20. No, I think that Kara was 22 when she had her baby. I think she says, so like, I'm 22 having my baby, and this baby's 5 now. So I think she's 27. Okay. That's my logic. Okay. But for a 27-year-old, I definitely am just like, oh, I get. Oh, okay, honey.
I would do that too. I'm mad at a boy. I'm gonna go flirt with boys. I'm gonna go flirt with boys. Him.
I'm gonna go drink. I'm gonna go run off and be crazy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that when I'm 18, actually. At 28, I am not going to run across a motorcycle compound covered in woods that I don't know anything about with people, especially when I have been victimized. I'm not going to run out into the dark and see if there's any monsters out there that want to catch me. So I'm frustrated with her at this point. Because
but she's basically 19.
And
also.
She's also drunk. And so she's not used to being drunk.
And she's not running around in the woods. She's going back to the cabin. That's what her intentions are.
She knows she has to cross all this woods. She knows who's out there. Like and honestly, she's shown in other parts that she's cautious about St. View and about these people. So I was frustrated.
Yeah, I think, but she's also been living on the compound. She's not thinking about the other people visiting the compound. She's thinking about, these people are protecting me, because they have been this whole time.
I know, but even so, we know this character, and this character has been wary of outsiders and wary of men. Yeah. And I just was like,
I get it, because when I'm mad at a boy, and I'm not now, I would never do this, but like where her state of mind is maturity wise in those scenarios that she's never had experience in, 100% I would do something like this.
But what I'm saying is that me as a reader and as a person, like, she might be mentally 19. That's a frustrating thing to deal with. Any human who is 27 and is acting 19, it's annoying. And in a horror movie, when somebody like runs off and separates from the group, you're like, you're gonna get murdered. So I'm like screaming. And it was the same thing with Alice, where I was just like,
don't do that.
Immediately with Alice, I was just like, everything she's saying is red flag. These girls are, and I guess that is what makes it so dangerous to be brainwashed.
And they're also not murderinos, dude. They don't even know. They don't have. But also, I think she's just drunk, and she's like, okay, it's time. I have to go to my boyfriend to escape. So I have to go to my house to get my stuff to go meet him in the woods. That's where her mind is at.
You're right.
While she's doing that, somebody chloroforms her.
Yes.
Okay, not her fault.
No, but if she would have stayed with fucking Queenie.
Yeah, but Queenie's having sex.
Queenie's having sex in front of everyone.
In front of everyone.
But I will say, this whole part of the story, I was just like literally just screaming at my phone. I'm like, I know what's about to happen.
Well, did you though? Did you know? Yeah, but did you know the level at which it was going to happen?
I knew who was coming, and I knew it was going to happen, but then I didn't realize what they were going to do to her.
So she passes out. Then she wakes up and she hears two men talking, and they're like, oh shit, she's awake, and they chloroform her again. Then she wakes up to hearing the sound, and she's like in a box. She like can't move. And she's like, what the fuck? And then she starts a like sound clicks on.
Trigger warning, claustrophobia.
Oh yeah, big time. Sorry, I forgot that.
Trigger warning, big time. Buried alive.
So she starts hearing Josiah's voice, and it turns out he's got a podcast that he preaches on, and they start playing the podcast in this like coffin. She's in a coffin, and then she's like, she hears some sounds hitting it, and then it starts to like fall through the cracks, and she realizes it's dirt, and she realizes she's being buried alive. That's how the book ends. This one was one of the most rough cliffhangers in my opinion.
I knew that Josiah was going to come for her, and that I was like, Josiah will be the end of this book. Like,
well, of
that
course.
is going to be.
But did you expect her to be getting buried
Buried
alive? Because
alive
that
is
was crazy to me.
especially, and I like Elthor because like I didn't expect it to be another buried alive situation because we just did another buried alive situation.
Well, he got concreted alive, so
but you know what I mean? It's like sometimes when you're like, oh well, that definitely, like when someone's playing rock paper scissors and you're like, they did scissors last time, they won't do scissors again, and then you're like,
oh,
he got me with scissors, and it's just like I was like, what the. And also, it's so the concrete one was like viscerally upsetting to listen to. This is worse because it's like he's playing on the radio. It's not the villain, and I'm just like, what? Turn him off. I can hear Jim Jones in my head as he's speaking. I'm just like, turn it off. Turn him off.
Yeah, and she can't move her arms to do that. So
she can't move at all, and she doesn't know where her daughter is.
So awful. She doesn't know what anything's happening.
Nope.
She's like, oh my god, they found me. Everything's bad. So
and also. Hawk will think that I'm with Hayden, and Hayden will think that I chose not to meet him.
Yes.
So both of those people won't be looking for me. Nobody will be looking for me.
Yeah. So that's the end of this book number 1, which is so good.
Girlies out there, if you're not a murderino and you need a little bit of advice, here's some advice. A little buddy system works really well. Yeah. Please always let somebody know where you're going. You can run away with Hayden if you want to. You do need to
one
tell
confidant.
Somebody.
You need one confidant.
It could be Amber, the random side character. It could be Queenie. It could be Queenie's husband. It doesn't matter who it is. Just be like, hey, I'm leaving. Don't tell anybody about this, but I'm going. Yeah. Know that this
Lucky for her, Hawk immediately was
found
like,
Hayden.
It's going to be Hayden. That's the reason she's gone.
And because they can confirm that they're not with each other, they know that something bad has happened.
Yes.
This is like when in true crime stories where they're like, well, Sally told Sally's mom that she was at Jenny's house, and Jenny told Jenny's mom that she was at Sally's house. And then neither mom figured it out for an entire 24 hours that they were both missing. Are dead. Yeah. And now they're dead, except for Hayden and Hawk find each other immediately. And they're like, she ain't with you.
No. Yeah.
She's not at your house.
Okay. So I think it's clear who our delusional boyfriend for this book is, but just in case it's not, who's your delusional boyfriend?
It's obviously Hawk.
Yeah, it's obviously Hawk.
He's wonderful. He's daddy.
He's so daddy.
He's daddy.
He gets even more daddy, you guys.
No.
Like, we get some really good moments with him and like actual daddy, not like bedroom daddy, but real daddy with him and Haley Jade, which I love. There is nothing hotter than somebody being a good dad.
There's nothing hotter than that.
Like,
here's an issue I have with picking Hawk in this one. So Hawk is a great stepdaddy. He's giving all of the vibes for that. Children like him. They think he's good. He is like admitting when he's wrong. He's apologizing fully. He's Dom. He's like all Dommy. Yeah. He's like wonderful. Then we have Hayden, who like doesn't really get a lot of screen time, especially with his character in the story. We don't get any spicy scenes with him except for seeing him get stripped down naked, which I really like. Yeah. So we have those two characters. So we're fine. We can pick Hawk as our delusional boyfriend. Would I date him IRL? He's awful mean. No. I have too much respect for myself.
He rides a motorcycle. He's a vice president of a motorcycle gang.
Literally wouldn't date him IRL. I don't know how right now does he stand up against Hayden, who like I actually have liked Hayden since the moment he walked through the door 3 series ago.
In prison when they knocked on his door and he came out.
I literally was like, Phoebe, whenever I find Hayden, he'll be my favorite. So I'll let Hawk have this one. I know that I'm going
next
to
book will
love
be Hayden. Yeah.
But here's the issue. Who's our third? Who is our third love interest? We need to talk about it because we don't know who it is yet. We know there's going to be a third one. We know that Hawk and Hayden are going to get together. So this third one is just going to be for her. And we have 2 options at this point in this story.
Okay, who do you think
the 2 options are Riot, the Louisiana leader, who is such a bad option because he's trafficking.
He's not an option. He's not an option. Let's be clear. Not an option.
Okay. So then he's not an option. The only other option in this story who we have met is this serial killer detective man.
He's a doctor.
We popped into his perspective.
He's a psychologist.
And everything about him is problematic. And I don't see him getting along very well with the other 2 at all. And honestly, it's probably going to be him.
Would you like me to confirm that it's Grayson? It's Grayson.
I'm like, girl, no. Okay.
His story comes out, and his story is the catalyst for the current series, which final book came out today, so I'm so
It's
excited.
Reapers and
Reaper and Ruin. I'm so excited to go home and read it. I already downloaded it on my Kindle. I am so happy. But
okay.
Kindle, Amazon went down last night. And so I woke up and everybody in the Drama Llamas group was like, "Elle, what's happening? We can't get the book." Because it was like midnight. Everyone's trying to download it at midnight. But the Amazon servers were down. So Kindle wasn't working and a bunch of other stuff wasn't working.
The girls lost
So
it.
everyone was freaking out. And Elle was like, "I'm so sorry. I don't know what's happening. Let's do a book giveaway." And then she goes, 30 seconds passed and it was fine.
Yeah, she's like,
But I'm still going to
"You can
give away a
get your
book."
but calm down a little bit. One of the most famous webtoons, Jinx, on the platform that it's on, Legend, it came off of hiatus and the fans crashed the site, and then no one was able to read it for like 4 hours. So but I was able to read it. Like I got in there pretty quick and I made a video and people are like, "How are you in there?" And I was just like, "Girls, like you gotta be on. You gotta be
on it.
refreshing and refreshing and refreshing." And then all the other bitches like, "How do you have this already? It's not translated." I'm like, "Bitch, it is translated. You are pirating." Yeah, that's how I got it because I paid for it. I gave them my little coins with
Ding,
my
ding.
husband's credit card numbers,
Yeah.
and I got it. And I'm not just on some fucking. Anyways, but the point is, good story. The fandom will crash the site.
Yep.
So this Grayson, am I gonna like him better than I like Hayden?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well, good to know. Other predictions for this story. Who is this?
Who do you think the
killer?
murderer is?
So it's like, did Josiah get her?
Here's the thing,
No,
Courtney.
I don't think so.
Courtney, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't remember who killed Alice.
Shut
I
up.
literally have been thinking about it the whole time I was reading that book. And I was like, who did? I feel like maybe in the next book I'll be able to figure it out.
I'll
Like
tell you
it'll
who
come
did it.
back, but
I'll tell you who did it because I have my prediction.
Okay.
My prediction is that we want to think it's a serial killer because Grayson is our other love interest. His wife was killed by a serial killer. There is a serial killer lost on the loose in Same View, but I know that there's other Same View books. So I think we can get back to the serial killer question at hand.
Well, let me tell you what the next series is called. St. View Murder Squad.
That's what I think.
Do with that information what you
That's
will.
what I think. So I think that maybe that's a red herring, and that this whole introduction of this character came throughout the rumor of serial killers, but that's not relevant to this case. What's relevant to this case is that she rejected the feelings of the boy who helped them escape the compound, and he is missing. And we're to expect that he just went back to the compound. Kyle. So
his name's Kyle.
His name's Kyle. And what I think is absolutely Kyle did it. Kyle was irritated that she wasn't going to return his feelings. And there's these moments where they're like looking at each other in the car when they're escaping. And Kara, who has horrible instincts, is like, "Oh, true love, young, innocent love. They really care about each other."
Like, I'm not interested.
And I was like, I don't give a fuck about this guy. And meanwhile, I'm like, this guy's looking at her like, "Oh my God, I love her. If I can't have her, nobody can." So I already see what's going on here. And I think it's Kyle, 100%. That's my money's on red.
Okay. And who do you think is burying Kara alive?
Josiah.
You think he's there?
Oh, well, Josiah's lackeys. Like, doesn't matter. Oh, is it her dad?
Her dad? No, it's not her dad.
Okay, but it is people from the compound because they're playing his fucking podcast. So we know that. Caleb is dead. So obviously Caleb's not included in this. And then we have
they're playing his podcast. Anybody can listen to a podcast.
But why?
Which means anybody can get indoctrinated into his weird religion.
Yeah, but only so many people know about Kara. So it has to be somebody from the compound because only people from the compound know about Kara. And people at the Slayer's compound who could be jealous, like in that last series that we read by Elle, where it was it was the girl character who like cut the brakes and was being all jealous behind the scenes.
Yes.
So it could be like that. Somebody who loves Hawk who's just like, "No, you can't have Hawk." What, Amber?
Or Kiki.
Or Kiki. If it is, I'm going to be annoyed. So I hope it's not.
I do remember. I know this one. I remember this part. I kind of like barely have an idea of who murdered Alice.
Well, who's burying Kara? I didn't even expect you to ask me that because I thought it was just like obvious that it's Josiah's men. So now I'm like, who is it? Because okay, now they want her to think that it's Josiah's men, and somebody above her is like, "I think we're going a little far with this," and it's like, I don't know that anyone in Josiah's clan would be doubting Josiah. So you're right. Now you have me questioning questions that I didn't question yet.
Well, good. You should be questioning things.
Okay.
Question everything when we're in St. View, baby.
Okay. Predictions. Are they going to get to her in time to save her from suffocating and being buried alive? Yes.
Well, obviously, there's 2 more books.
So I predict that will happen.
And this is a romance novel through and through, so we will be getting a happily ever after.
So my prediction is that they save her. Hayden and Hawk will be the ones to save her. Unless, wait. I was going to say, unless it's Grayson who saves her and it was the murderer who was burying her alive, but that's not it because he didn't react the right ways when I was
How
going
would
through.
he even get into the Slayer's compound?
You're right. That doesn't make any sense at all.
No.
Just like earlier when I was like, I bet the murderer is Grayson. Wait, maybe that doesn't make sense.
All your thoughts about Grayson don't make sense.
Don't like him. Off the bat, questionable. Sus. I have questions.
I think he becomes the softie that Kara kind of needs.
I think he's socially awkward like Kara. And
He is.
that makes
100%.
makes him really unlikable to me, where I'm just like,
I hate you. Some people can hold a conversation.
I'm like, why are you acting weird? Why are you telling people that they look like your dead wife? That's weird. Don't lead with that. That's how a lot of our murder podcast episodes start. Don't lead with that.
No, I don't think the enough start like that.
You look like my dead wife.
I'm worried you're gonna get murdered because you look like my dead wife.
I guess, but then she's looking around for other people. He's like, trust me, I'll help you not get murdered. Then she trusts him, then he murders her. That's where I'm thinking that's going. You know, I'm always looping back around to look at the guy who's asking me not to look at him.
Okay, great.
That's where I was coming at with my Grayson suspicions.
I know, it's just like Kian last
safe.
Season.
Did I do that with Kian?
Yes.
Oh, damn it, Kian. I should have never doubted you. You're my boy.
Yeah.
You were my boy the whole time.
My boy.
What was I thinking? Okay, well, I love this series. I'm so excited to go back into this next month. So this is October. Next month for November, we are covering
Torn in Two,
which is the second book in the series.
Correct.
And then December will be the finale.
3 to Fall.
And I am going to leave it at that. So I hope you guys join us for those episodes. I'm getting really excited for next year. I have a couple things in the works, but I shouldn't just say stuff and then probably change my mind.
Yeah, 100%
So
not.
anyways, more news to come on next year's calendar. Please make sure that you're subscribed on our YouTube and to this podcast on whatever podcast you're listening to. We have our socials, Instagram and TikTok. So if you go follow us on those, you'll make sure to be in the loop when we release next year's calendar, when we have fun new news.
I do think we should do a bonus episode on the series I'm reading right now.
I think so too. So I'm hoping
because I think you're gonna need to read it.
I need to read all of Elthorpe's stuff now, and that might include the St. View High series as well.
Yeah, it is really good actually.
So, and I feel like I can go back to that out of chronological order, and it's fine. So
yeah, you can.
I think. Yeah, like I said, I shouldn't just keep making promises about episodes I won't do, but I do think that we're going to do the rest of Elthorpe one way or another. So make sure that you're following our socials so you know when we do that. And thank you so much for listening. I love this podcast. This has been so much fun. I can't believe that we're already at the end of October.
I know, I can't believe it either. It's crazy.
This year has flown by. It's been so much fun to get this author under my belt, and now I have a favorite author. I'm glad we did this for Elthorpe.
She has so many books for you to read, and I think her. She just said something. She dropped an Easter egg of I just reread one of my cowboy books because I needed to know some things that happened in my cowboy books. So I think she's gonna write a new cowboy book
back
this
into
year.
The cowboy world.
I think and they're really good.
I really do want to read the cowboy books.
Yeah, they're really good.
When we started this podcast, the first episode we did was a trial and error podcast about a cowboy series. So maybe one day we'll release that as the prototype for the podcast. It was so bad.
It was so bad.
But it was an hour and 45 minutes.
We sat
long.
in different rooms in your house and did it over FaceTime we weren't together.
I couldn't figure out the technology. Now it's a whole nother world. We've got this little studio. Everything is so different. So if you've been along for the whole journey, if you're day one listener, thank you so much for being here. If you just joined us,
thank you for being here.
Thank you for being here. And I swear we're going to continue improving. So we will see you guys next month. And until then, remember, sometimes the delusion
is the solution.
Bye.